Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to the news. 48 people have been killed in 5 states. Most of this was caused by the storm waters from Ida. Many homes, businesses, vehicles, and even the New York City subway was affected. University of North Carolina has a course titled Global Whiteness. This course even puts the blame on white people for the conflict we had with Japan in World War II. It also discussed Donald Trump's racism and many other issues. It also pushes heavily communist propaganda onto our youths. The jobs report was very disappointing. It was forecasted that we were going to add 72,000 new jobs, but in reality, we only added 235,000 jobs. Also, wages rose 4.3% year to year, and this was caused by a need to find workers and to get them hired. 41% of businesses said they did raise wages, but they were also going to put that money into their product cost, so inflation will definitely be there. McDonald's over on the West Coast is even trying to hire 14 to 15-year-olds because they cannot find enough workers. 50% of U.S. small businesses have jobs, but they have no workers to fill them. GM is pausing productions in 8 North America plants, and this will be for the next 2 weeks. Also, Ford stopped work at a Kansas City plant for 2 weeks. And 2 more truck plants in Michigan and Kentucky have reduced shifts. Also, a Ram truck plant in Michigan is shut for a week. Nissan had a 2-week shutdown for one of their plants, and they've extended it for 2 more weeks, and that's a plant in Tennessee. This is really because of the computer chip shortage that is just decimating being able to finish making all these vehicles. U.S. dealers have less than 1 million brand new cars on their lots. A year ago, they had 3.58 million. That is a drop of 72%. Dealers are able to raise their prices on these vehicles and give not big discounts, and this will contribute to more inflation down the road. Costco has come out and said that they are reinstating purchase limits on some items, and more items could be added to this list. Some of the more popular items would be paper towels, toilet paper, and bottled water. Illinois students will be given 5 mental health days. These will be days they can use whenever they feel stressed. These will be excusable days from school, and they will not require a doctor's note. New Zealand has had a bad stabbing. An immigrant that came over to their country in 2011. He was actually a person of interest in 2016, and he's been watched. They said he was under heavy surveillance. He went ahead and stabbed 6 people at a grocery store. Police then shot and killed him. Police said he is an ISIS-inspired extremist. Also, 40 more admirals and generals have signed the letter to ask for the resignation of Secretary of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This brings the total of admirals and generals almost to 130. Also, rumors are flying that China wants to use Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. This is so they can have influence in that area. Also, they definitely want to keep India out of this area. The German labor minister said that companies cannot ask their workers the status of their COVID vaccine. This is a private medical, and I thought we were the country of freedom. Also, New Zealand has gone full-blown police state. They had a few more COVID cases, and they're doing another lockdown. They have military and police on the roads doing checkpoints, and if you're caught traveling, you can be given a big fine and arrested. Also, South Australia is making people download an app on their phone, and that uses geolocation and facial recognition. They will be then given during the day random times a text, and they need to take a picture of themselves at their house and send it to the police. If they don't, then they will be having a visit from the police. Also, Australian that we're going to have mandatory vaccine for their truck drivers. The truck drivers threaten to strike and protest, and Australia has backed off of this a little. Finally, dozens of courageous women in Afghanistan, in the western part of the country, picketed outside the governor's office. They were surrounded by heavily armed Taliban, and they are asking for women's rights. They're asking to be able to work, and they're also asking to be able to be included in the government. I pray Americans, when we have to face our tyrants, will be just as strong and courageous. Thanks for watching the news.